the Vet Yogi series.
My name is Cris Pestana, Cris, for friends. I'm a vet since 2003. And until recently. I'm also a writer. I wrote 2 historical novels. I'm a farmer. I was involved and am in a permaculture project. I decided to be a vet when I was around 17, and I thought it had more to do with conservation and with environment, and so that was a big plus for me, and that's the main reason why I chose veterinary. I realized that clinical vet profession was a lot harder than we thought as soon as we were in the course, but also when I started to see that there was no schedule, there was no vacation, there wasn't. It's like if we live outside the world. It's like you don't have your own life, and also all the challenges of dealing with the clients, dealing with the patient, dealing with death, which is something that is also always present and we cannot hide it. And so there's so many things, and that's a really hard question to answer. Well, having my own business added a lot of stress to my work and to what I was doing. And like so many of us know, it's hard to be an employee, but when you're managing a clinic and you still have to think about management, and you're still the same person who has to do the surgeries and get consultations and talk to clients, and you're basically the face of the clinic, that's a big responsibility. And at least for me, that was something that was a burden on top of the practice, which I loved. And yeah, I wish somebody would have done it for me, but I guess I did a good job while that made sense for me. I think coping with stress while I was working full-time as a vet and having my own clinic was never something that I think about. I was just moving on, and I used to say that I don't have time to get depressed or to get stressed, because all I have to do is get the job done. And so there wasn't much that I did besides practicing sports. At the time I practiced capoeira, I practiced basketball, and I almost had to practice every day in order to keep some balance. Until the point where I was physically injured and healed, because I guess my body and my mind needed something else. Well, I think the good, like I said before, is your mission, what you're doing, and it's a really important thing. It's one of the most beautiful professions, and for people who aren't working as a vet, it's something that is almost a dream or a goal for so many people. I think that the worst is being able to balance the needs of our patients and the wishes of the owners, and in the middle there's a big road in that sentence, I guess. Started with me being injured. I had 3 hernias on my back, and laying down full of pain and still having to carry on and having to work when you could hardly stand. And somebody told me about yoga, But at first it didn't get into my life because I was so used to movements, I was so used to the speed and to sports that for me that yoga, the first yoga I tried, or the first type of yoga that I tried, was a bit a disappointment, I have to confess. Only after I found about Iyengar yoga, which was more therapeutical, but also had the movements and also had the flow, and I could sweat and still take care of my body. And even long before I found about Ashtanga and what I'm doing right now, Vinyasa and yoga therapy and everything that yoga brought, I guess that I owe it to that approach of Iyengar, which is a therapeutical one, and it's allowed me to still have my activity as a sport and carry on working and with no pain, and that was a big door that opened for me like 11 years ago. When did I realize that yoga was going to be more important? It was a process. I cannot tell you a moment, but I guess it started when I closed the clinic. I started to have more time to myself. I started practicing. I started feeling cured and with no pain, with no ulcers, with no anxiety, and feeling good in my skin. And I guess I felt that was more my mission and my way of helping people. Yeah, it still is like a reckoning or something it's like a revelation that is lasting in time and that keeps making more and more sense. It still stands a great deal because I have to back up my wife, who is still a veterinary, and it's like it's always in my life. I couldn't just quit. I had clients and patients that some of them were with me since 2005, 2006, and so I thought I had the responsibility of keeping them and not just, okay, now I'm not just a vet and I quit. No, I have the responsibility to those animals and to those clients, and even if I cannot and I don't have time and I send it to another colleague, I still answer the phone, I still go to their houses, I still talk to them. I guess I'll always be a vet because there are certain things that we understand, and if I had to take another course, I would take veterinary again, but with more attention to certain subjects, because it's like so complete, and basically they can throw you in the middle of a jungle with a Swiss Army knife, and with all the things that we learn in the course, we'll probably survive and start selling milk 1 year later or something like that. I think yoga could help pets who aren't feeling very help or pleasant with or pleased with the profession in several levels. There's a physical level, which is aimed to correct several postures, several positions that we don't take care in our everyday practice, and that may end up in injuries or sickness. And that's a big and important thing, because sometimes we tend to think, okay, let's do sports, and perhaps it's not the right sport, and the proof of that you need at the time. It could have been what you needed 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but right now it might not be what you need with the charge and all the heavy work that you have. In another level, and this is also one opportunity in this series, is that basically it can bring you closer to yourself. It won't transform you, but it will bring you closer to your original idea, to your mission when, or the reason why you decided to get into veterinary and perhaps level up and get to closer to where you want to go. I visualize myself happy. That's it.